When I had a chance to visit with Judge Gorsuch, it was clear that he understood the proper role of a judge. The role of the judge, the job is to adhere to the Constitution, to apply the rule of law, and not to legislate from the bench. When he was nominated by President Trump, Judge Gorsuch said, quote, "It is for the Congress and not the courts to write new laws. It's the role of a judge to apply, not alter, the work of the people's representatives. A judge who likes every outcome he reaches is very likely a bad judge, stretching for results he prefers rather than those the law demands." Now, what would that mean? Very likely a bad judge. How would a person reach a conclusion they didn't like, and that's what makes them a good judge? Well, a good judge reads the law, reads the Constitution, and applies the law. It doesn't try to determine what the Constitution and the law should say, but only has the job of determining what the Constitution and the law does say. Justice Scalia, the vacancy that Judge Gorsuch will fill, setting aside personal views, according to Justice Scalia, that quote is one of the primary qualifications of a judge. Not determining what you'd like to happen, but determining what the law and the Constitution says has to happen. I think Judge Gorsuch understands that. He comes to the court very well prepared, a graduate of Columbia University, a graduate of Harvard Law School, Oxford University. His academic credentials are unrivaled in preparation for this job. He served his country admirably as a Supreme Court clerk for Justice Byron White, appointed to the court by President Kennedy, confirmed by the Senate. Justice Anthony Kennedy, appointed to the court by President Reagan. Judge Gorsuch served as a principal deputy associate attorney general. And then in 2006, President George W. Bush nominated him to serve on the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. The Senate confirmed his nomination unanimously by voice vote. There are 12 Democrats currently serving in the Senate who were then in office and supported Judge Gorsuch's nomination 10 years ago to the job he has today. And in the decade that Judge Gorsuch has served as a circuit judge, again, reviewing the work of other federal judges on appeal, he's demonstrated the integrity, the professional qualifications, and the judicial temperament to serve on the nation's highest court. Judge Gorsuch said recently that judges are not politicians in robes. It is not the job of a judge to determine what the law is or should be. It's the job of a judge to determine what the law is, the job of a judge to determine what the framers intended the Constitution to say. Judge Gorsuch received high praise from legal experts across party lines. He's gotten the highest level of recommendation from the American Bar Association, unanimously rating him as well qualified, its highest rating. He is respected by people who know him and his community. He's really dedicated himself to a lifetime of service that prepares him for this job. The Supreme Court is one of the foundational institutions of our country. It is designed to protect our democracy and designed to really understand and apply the Constitution and the law so that the rule of law is uniquely dependable in the United States of America. If you're a citizen and you read the law and you understand what the law says, that should get you a long way toward success before the courts if challenged, and assurance that in this country, the rule of law matters, and the ultimate determiner of what the law says is the Supreme Court. I think, Mr. President, that Judge Gorsuch will serve well and I hope long on the court. I believe in the next couple of weeks he will join the judges, one of which he clerked for, and if that happens, he'll be the first person in the history of the country to be sitting as an associate judge with another associate judge that decades earlier he was the law clerk for when he and Associate Justice Kennedy have an opportunity to serve together.